guys, welcome back to a brand new episode of Head Over Heels, and today we are head over heels for this guy because if you've been to some of the biggest music festival places where they play music, clubs as well, this guy is there just hyping out the crowd like he always does, and it's none other than Bling. Hi!
Hi.
Thanks for coming on the show.
Welcome.
I have to give a bit of a context. So Bling, before he came on the show, he did his own makeup, okay? You guys, he did his own makeup. So for the first time, I know it's not your first time putting on makeup. Can you tell me, why do you decide to buy your makeup like one day before the podcast? It's not for the podcast, right? Because I feel so much pressure.
Actually, it was.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Why?
Yeah.
No, because, I've been putting on makeup only at the lifestyle events.
Yes, yes.
Not my club shows, not my festival shows, of course, because I sweat too much.
Yeah.
But it's just that, I think on video with the harsh light,
it
just looks a little bit better lah.
And I think the one thing about you is that you are so dedicated to your craft. So you guys, if you're a fan of Bling, now you can see the extent of his dedication is down to really prepping his own face for the show, okay? But yeah, I just want to say thank you so much for coming on the show. And I think today is really to get to know Bling, who Bling is.
Okay.
I know some people call you Ho Yin. Nobody?
Nobody.
Not at all?
No.
What do your parents call you? Bling?
A boy.
Fair. Okay, fine. But yeah, I think maybe you can talk to us a little bit. I didn't see that coming. You can talk to us a little bit about yourself, like kind of like go back in time, like where you're from, what's your origin? Are you a KL boy? What is it like growing up? Yeah, tell me.
Okay. Well, on the name context, only people from my school, schooling days, will call me Ho Yen. So if anyone calls me from behind, hey Ho Yen, I will know it's a school friend.
Yep.
No one knows my name, not just because people are familiar with Blink already.
Yeah.
And for a boy, it's only my family, but there's a group of people in the industry that actually calls me a boy. Like,
really?
Yeah, like my ex-boss who owns Zouk.
Yeah.
I've known him before he hired me as an employee or a DJ for Zouk. And he was already promoted in the scene. So the first veteran or OG DJs of dance music, they all call me a boy because I was like the youngest in the scene back then. So there are a few people who calls me a boy outside of my family too. Amazing.
I think that's really cute. But yeah, apart from the name, like, are you a KL boy?
Yeah, so going back to the roots, I mean, it's a lot of story to tell, but from music side, life side, but I'm born and bred KL. Grew up right in the center of KL. There was only Sungei Wang, Lot 10, KL Plaza.
Yes.
There wasn't Pavilion. It was BBGS back then. My house is literally 5 to 10 minutes walk.
No way.
My family house is still there.
No way.
Yeah, so I grew up in Imbi, so I'm very familiar with KL.
Right. And your journey into becoming a DJ, like one of the most known prominent DJ in the country, not just country, in the region really. How did that come about? Like when did you decide, at what point of your life, okay, this is what I want to do? Because you sing as well.
I started singing 4 years ago. I mean, I really like singing. And I think how I started singing was, I think I reached the ceiling like 4 years ago. That's when Alvin, who's also known as Goldfish, who I had a group with, GMB, which we traveled the world together as well and put out a lot of songs. When he left Zouk then it was just me alone. And it was difficult to do things that we used to do.
Yeah.
Right? So... And I was alone and I was thinking, what do I do next? Because we did most of the stuff we dreamt of.
Yeah.
Right? And I love singing. So that's why I took it up and I enjoyed it. But then COVID happened, lockdown happened. Yeah. And now another direction has come about.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So speaking of lockdown, right? How did that affect you musically wise? Like, your job requires you to be out there amongst the crowds. Like with lockdown, that's like the total opposite. That's completely taken away from you. How did that affect you mentally? And of course, how did you kind of like overcome that?
I think I speak about it until today. Even like the big shows that I did with Chainsmokers in Genting, I was very open about things on stage, which I was very surprised. But I was very surprised with the feedback too. A lot of the audience were first time viewers of my show, and they were like, "Oh, thank you. It hit me emotionally." I'm like, "Oh, wow. I thought I talked a bit too much that set, but for me, everything's impromptu, you know." So yeah, I actually said that, you know, I'll never forget about those times. I think as humans, we adapt very fast.
Yeah.
So a lot of people have forgotten already we went through that.
That's true.
You know, because things are moving as of normal again.
Way faster than pre-COVID.
Yeah. So but I always remind people, because it taught me a lot. But I wouldn't, you know, I'm grateful to say that, you know, I could spend a lot of time with my family, which I couldn't have because I'm always out.
Yeah.
So I could say that, and
Yeah.
I think I'm blessed to be able to say that.
Yeah.
But other than that, I think it also helped me to do things that I've never gotten to do. Example, Hejau came about and I could focus on it. 33.3 came about and I can focus on it. Powerhouse Spin instructor journey came about and I could start. So there was a lot of things.
Yeah. I think, in fact, in retrospect, the pandemic was one of the best things that could have happened to people. Of course, putting aside, you know, the pain, the disease, but like in terms of just putting everything on pause really made us reflect and kind of make decisions differently, if you think about it. I want to talk about your career in Hejau in 33.3 later on, but right now I want to focus on you first. We're going to narrow down to Bling.
Okay.
Okay? I want to know what were you like growing up? Like the Hou-Yin, before Hou-Yin became Bling.
Okay. You know, well, we started right before the show. You said I was kind of calm. A lot of people think so too. Then they see me on stage and I'm this like monster, like animated. I'm like that, I think. But I think as growing up, I kind of like became more composed.
Yeah.
Just due to, you know, experience, age, and trying to control my emotions. I think growing up, I get angry very easily.
Yeah.
People don't see that because I'm completely different now. I think I learned through books and life experiences, but I get angry very easily. But I was always that guy, always full of energy, I think, and always wanting not to stop. I think all this came from basketball and sports. So I think yellow. I think that's that. I just love everything.
Yeah. Cool. I think it's interesting that you said you used to be someone who is angry easily. Okay, because I cannot see that version of you right now. Like, of course, I mean, we are friends and it's always different behind closed doors, but I just cannot imagine that. Maybe you can just elaborate a little bit about what that was like and what changed you. You talk about experience. What were some of the experience that changed you?
Okay. Angry as in like, not I'm an angry person, you know, who throw things around and stuff, but I think I'm a person that reacts very fast.
Yeah.
I think it's the reaction. And actually, funny enough, like I was just thinking about this past 2 days because, you know, I still feel bad when I react. You know, angry to some of my colleagues when it comes to work. And past 2 days I've been thinking, I think a lot. And I'm like, why do I do that? And I shouldn't do that. But at the end of the day, you know, I have to do that because that's what I want for the team. And I realize I react is during, like, example, basketball games or like when I'm DJing or when I'm DJing with someone and every time I'm in the zone, actually not when I'm talking to you and then I'll get angry, but it's actually when I'm...
There's always a trigger.
Yes, when I'm doing something that I'm very serious of. And I think back and I reflect on that, and it's actually because I just want to bring a game to every basketball game or every DJ set that I play. So when the partner or teammates I feel are not on par
with what your expectation is.
Yes, then I get a little
agitated.
Yeah. So then I'm thinking, how? But if I don't, then there's no push. But if I do, sometimes I feel bad, you know, but I always apologize and they understand me because a lot of my teammates have been with me for a long time and they know I'm doing it for good. Out of like the set or the game, I'm completely not like that. You know, but it's just that when I'm in the zone, I'm like that.
I can completely relate to you. In fact, I talked about this in a previous episode, my solo episode, where, you know, especially when it comes to leading a team, where there are people involved and where there are expectations involved, it's really hard to fulfill everyone's expectation. And when you are the leader yourself, it's the hardest, because where do you draw the line? You want to be stern, but then you can't hurt people. But sometimes when you're honest, it may hurt people, and that's when things like this happen. Am I right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. I think a lot of people may not know, but you may already know if you do follow Blink. And if this is your first time getting to know Blink, which I feel is very unlikely, but if this is your first time hearing about Blink, of course, he is like one of the most prominent DJs in Malaysia, and I want to say the world. I don't know. No. One day. But like you can see some of the biggest music festival, he will be there. In fact, you've played in Coachella before.
Coachella is the only festival that I don't play because I take it as a holiday.
But you did, no?
No, I play Tomorrowland, Ultra,
Tomorrowland,
and all the dance festivals around the world. But Coachella was my thing. Each year that I take a break. I don't take breaks.
To enjoy people's music instead.
Yeah, I don't take breaks.
Right.
I don't go on holidays at all.
I see that.
Yeah. I think most of the people know. So every year I would take 7 days to 10 days off in LA.
Right.
And I get inspired by Coachella. This year I'm not going because the lineup is not that strong. But but that's where I normally go. Feel free. Time difference is so fast. I don't need to reply.
Yeah.
You know, so fast.
So you can just be away.
Yeah. So I think...
Okay, cool. Yeah, I got that mixed up. Tomorrowland was the big one. But yeah, like a lot of people don't know this. Apart from playing music, you also own businesses. And one of it being 33.3, which is an agency, award-winning agency. You guys recently won an award last year. And also a matcha cafe, Hejau. So maybe you can talk to us about how that came about for you.
Well, I was from art school. One of my partners, Edwin, is my college mate. And Zul has been a longtime friend who is one of the prominent graphic designers in Malaysia. And we've always been just talking. And I think it was close to COVID where Ed and Zul was leaving their previous job. And so happened, I don't speak to Ed that much. It's one of another fate story kind of thing. Zul was like, hey, you know what? Why don't you speak to Ed? It comes to me. Starbucks, when Zook just opened that track, from one conversation, it led on to 3-hour conversation. Yeah. And next thing we know, this company came about. And it's called 33.3 because there's 3 of us. So it's 100 divided by 3 is 33.3. There you go. And we always say that the 0.01% is luck. The others is hard work.
Wow.
Yeah. So,
I love that.
Yeah. So that's 33.3. And for Hejau, it was... you know, I've always been a fan of matcha since going to America. There's this brand called Cha-Cha Matcha. I was like, wow, matcha can be like this. There's different flavors, you know. There's alternative milk in the lattes. So every year I went, I would try. Then one day I was like, maybe it's time to open one, right? And I was actually having a conversation in Jane's house. And I told her about that. And Jane was like, yo, can I be a part of it? I'm like, yeah, why not? Then after that, it came about.
And so Hejau is all co-owned by you, Jane. Was it Mandy?
Yeah. So Jane then said, hey, we should get Mandy in, you know. Then their side would take care of the creative marketing side. And then, of course, we got the Nico Nico boys who supplies the powder. But they are actually part of Hejau. A lot of people don't know that. And actually, I was an avid, super regular customer of Nico. I would be there twice a week when they had a small store behind my house before they actually branched out. So I got to know the owners really well, and then that's how we got the chemistry right. And so we got the whole thing: operations, creative, and supply.
And your role in Hejau is?
I take care of the operations. And thinking of the new flavors. Working with our supplier, which is my brother-in-law, for the pastries. What come next, and the collaborations together with Jane, that kind of stuff.
I love that. And I noticed, you see, like a lot of your, just take these 2 businesses, for example, you are working with some of your closest friends. Yeah. And you know what they say, don't ever start a business with your friend.
But I believe that also.
Okay, so what's your take on that? Like, how do you make that work? Because it can get really complicated.
Yeah, super great question, I think, you know, and I always think about this too. I think, but the difference between Hejau 33.3 and the rest of the other businesses I've had before, you know, is that me and Ed, Zhu, always talk about it too. I think it's the point of life where you come together to create this business, you know. Not to say it won't work as of a very, very young age, but, you know, while you mature in your different paths and your different jobs, and then you come together as one, you kind of know what you want. You know, of course, sometimes it still doesn't work out 20 years later, maybe money problems, you know, maybe personal problems. All these problems we cannot, you know, plan out or, you know, to avoid if one day it happens. But to avoid is from the start, the get-go, is to already have that vision, goal, and kind of know where we are all at in the face of life and then go forward with it, right? Or in each partnership, what values do you bring to the table? You know, not just friend talk. You know, hey, friend, come lah, open lah, play lah. No, you know, I don't think it works that way. I think it really, you have to come to a conversation where what can you bring to the table and
honest.
what can I, you know, cannot just say, I've had businesses where 5-6 people, let's do it. Everyone's excited in the start, for
but
sure.
no one's doing the work.
But once it happens, 2-3 months later, when there's no fire, hype, then the true self comes out, and then they just take a step back, they forget about it, you chase things, then you already know, lor, you know? But yeah, so you work with people that actually can bring, like you see Jane and Mandy, they bring the creative strategy, the marketing strategy. Nico boys bring the powder. I'm always there in the shop operating, you know, taking care of the whole crew, making them as a team. So everyone's playing a different part, you know?
Yeah.
And then we add Zhu as well. You know, we
That's amazing because I think both have its respective successes and it's so inspiring to see, especially for Hejau. Like you guys started in the midst of a pandemic where hundreds and hundreds of businesses are actually closing down. But here you guys are like a mushroom just popping out of nowhere and just blooming and just serving people great matcha.
Yeah, but I think that one is also timing and luck a little bit.
Yeah.
I would say I'm very proud of the product and I think our partners are too. But the thing is, you know, some things they always say about timing.
Yeah.
I think when people shut and when we opened up, we were fresh and there were not many fresh things.
Not many matcha cafes as well.
Matcha
actually,
cafes and also like aesthetically fresh.
Yes.
So I think, and during that time, MCO lockdown, everyone was on social media. So all eyes were on the phone.
Yeah.
So if a lot of people take pictures, that was already auto marketing.
Yeah.
Right? So it went off like that long. I think it's timing too.
Yeah, I was safe to say I think Hejau did go viral at some point, yes.
Yeah, the polo bun did.
Yeah. So like did you come up with the polo bun?
So the
Popular polo bun.
The back end to the polo bun story is it was not supposed to be a matcha polo bun.
Okay.
It was actually during lockdown. My brother-in-law, which is one of the best chefs in the world, I feel, he can do from Chinese to Western and baking, anything you want in the world.
Yeah.
So I travel the world,
Yeah.
taste, come back, tell him, and he creates it.
Amazing.
So yes, it's just amazing. So what happened was during lockdown, we were like, hey, why don't try to do polo bun?
Okay, just the regular basic polo bun. Okay.
The yellow one. And he started baking because everyone was locked down, right? And it was amazing, like amazing. So after that, we just kept it. No story about matcha. Then when the matcha idea came about, then I said, why don't we try putting matcha? Then boom, then that's it lah. But we didn't expect it to go viral.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be secondary. Pastries were supposed to be always secondary to the store. But when we let go, it went viral.
Yeah.
We were selling out in 2 minutes every day.
Yeah, I remember. Like I want to go and then it's gone.
Yeah, 12 o'clock on.
Yeah.
Beep it. 2 minutes gone.
Like, because like you said, we were living on IG stories.
Yeah.
And I can see like 5 minutes later, you will post, sorry guys, sold out. I'm like, what? I just got on it. That's crazy.
Yeah. And I would say the hype, or at least it lasted quite long, 8 to 10 months. I think that was long.
That's amazing. Yeah. I think when it comes to F&B business, I think everyone knows how difficult it is to start it and to maintain it.
100%.
Especially F&B, I would say. Hearing from my friends' stories, you know, the struggles and everything. But I want to say, like, what is the secret? I mean, I know magicians don't tell their secret, but like, what is the secret and what is the formula to Hejau's success today?
I don't think there's a formula. I think we're still evolving and struggling and thriving at the same time, you know, because, you know, times have changed.
Yeah.
You know, I think everyone sees it when we were booming, or cafes were booming in general.
Yeah.
You know, I think people were scared to go to the malls. There were no nightclubs. There were no bars. So cafes were all your social gathering spots, right? But when travel opened up as well, I think times have changed now.
Yeah.
So we could see majority of the places slightly dropped in terms of sales.
Yeah.
So now it's new times again. So how do we really evolve from here is another story.
Yeah.
So I would say there's never a formula.
Yeah.
Because times are changing so fast, just like music, just like anything.
Yeah.
If we don't evolve, we become like Nokia.
I agree.
I know what it feels like going to the gym and feel completely clueless and intimidated. I was once there. That's why I started Motion Lab. We're a fitness studio that focuses on small group classes and personal training. Our goal is simple: to help you move better so you can live better. Start your first class for only 49 ringgit today. For more info, go to www.motionlab.live or check us out on IG at motionlabmy. It's motionlabmy.
And speaking of evolving, I think your music has evolved and has really also changed people's lives. I think we see that on all your stories. And I want to talk about your music right now.
Yeah, okay.
How do you keep up with the trend? Because, I mean, no offense to the people out there, but like there are a lot of DJs out there and it's not easy to stand out. Would you agree?
Definitely.
Yeah, and you managed to do that year after year after year after year, kind of like holding your spot for all these years.
I don't know.
How do you do it?
I don't want to say that I'm holding the spot. You know, I don't.
I say one, it's okay.
You know, I'm just doing it because I love. I love it, and I think people see it. You know, and I always promote this is that I stay in my own lane. You know.
Yeah.
A lot of the young guys come, hey, have you heard about this DJ? And hey, have you heard about that DJ? I mean, in Malaysia. And I say no, you know, and I say it's not that I want to be arrogant or ignorant about it, but it's just that I don't have time and I'm always concentrating on my own lane and how I evolve as a DJ, as an artist, you know. If they come around my radar, you know, like some of the ones that's in Spark now, which you know, I'm hitting, then they're in my radar. They're great. There's a lot of great young DJs and still coming up too. But it's just that it's not it's not that I don't want to care about them or know about them, but there's just so much that we need to care for ourselves that we need to focus. So, you know, I don't want to be in any spot. I just want to stay in my own blink realm or like, and just focus on myself, you know. But how do I evolve? Is that I never like to stay the same.
I love that.
Yeah, so it's not that I follow trends. You know, of course, trends is important, but how do you take trends to adapt it into your style? I've never jumped on a bandwagon, I think. You know, when hardstyle was massive 4 years ago, I touched on it, but I never was a hardstyle DJ. Trance was big for a very long time recently. I don't touch trance, but I respect my boys that plays it, and I love the DJs that play it. You know, but wherever I see the trend is, how I can adapt it to my style, I do it.
A question just popped to mind, and it's something that I've heard people say. With so many young creators out there, like young DJs up and coming, and then sometimes you see some that barely do anything on the deck. Like they say, are they actually playing? Like what, as an actual professional DJ, what do you have to say about that? Is there one of the methods, or I don't know, because I'm not a DJ, so I don't. I mean, of course, I've seen you play, and you're actually super busy on the deck. You're doing work, but I've seen some DJs. We've all seen some DJs where they don't. But music are still playing. So what was that?
I think most DJs that get shows, they play now. But you know, it's very open, and to be honest, I'm very open to all DJs. I'm not the kind of like purist, and I've never been. You know, that's why I say also I stay in my same lane. I've always been a guy that mix around with all genre DJs. I know the hip hop guys very well. I know the super underground guys very well, and all, right?
Yeah.
And I'm also okay with the content creator DJs. I think that's
They call it content creator DJs?
I call them that.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, because
Got it.
I feel that they pop up because of social media.
Yes.
Right, and you know, so, and I feel they are crafting a certain type of art which is relevant to
their
the young
audience.
age and the young age audience. For them, they may not go to clubs, so if that works for them, that works for them. So for me, it's like they're just crafting their own thing. So I'm not the purist that say, they're not DJing, because every few years, I think technology changes too.
Yes.
Even my time, even if I play USB or if I had played CDs or even records, when I moved to CDs, the record guys will say, Blink's playing CDs now. Then I moved to USB, right? Then the CD guys would be like, you're using USB, it's easy. I'm like, why not? It's just getting like more convenient for us DJs. We don't have to like lug a bag. We don't have to burn CDs.
Yeah.
You're just on a thumb drive now,
USB,
right?
yeah.
So, but I don't have that stuck in time kind of mentality. So I got nothing to say about them. I just hope that more of them come up.
Nice. I like that. I think it's a very refreshing take. And also I think for us who are not DJs, we actually don't know. I mean, we hear the music and sometimes we are just curious, are they actually playing? So like you said, they actually are. It's just a different type of technology that's assisting them to produce the music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, there's also the influencer DJs that they call. Those maybe some start because they use it as content. I talk to a lot of the DJs that don't agree with them and they feel that they are influencers that are using DJ as content. But for me, it's like, why not too?
Why not?
Right? I mean, it's another form. Like for me, I'm a DJ, but I do beauty review products as my content, right?
Yeah,
for my what's good. Maybe a beauty influencer might say, what is Blink doing, right?
Yeah.
But they're not doing that. So why us DJs saying the other way around?
Yeah.
So that's my take, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm very open to all this.
Yeah. And I guess just like in every other industry, there's always enough space for everyone to grow lah.
100%.
Yeah. Okay, cool. I think you had a DJ duo group. Do you call it DJ duo group?
Yeah.
I knew you from Goldfish and Blink.
Okay.
I've seen you guys play. And then there's Lapsup as well.
That's right.
Can you talk to us about both of your collaborations? Or is there any other collaborations out there?
Let me
Like
see.
DJ duo?
No.
Just these two?
Yeah.
That you still... Goldfish and Blink no more already.
Well, we never disbanded.
Actually, what happened? If you could share a little.
I mean, he's married with kid.
Right, okay.
And 4 years ago, he left Zouk, right, Alvin? So I think, just...
Different
I think
path.
different paths in life, you know. I think he started way more businesses than me then, you know. So I'm still focusing on the music.
Okay.
You know, I think he's been putting out music. I think he just put out one with Miss Pui, right? Right last year or something.
Yeah.
So I mean, he's doing his own thing right now.
Right.
But for Lapsup, it's the same. You know, we were dormant for a while, but what happened was, I think it was Good Vibes where they brought in Boiler Room, which was one of our biggest shows to date. You know, Boiler Room was an international brand that was like championing underground sound, and they invited us to play. So Sue and myself as Lapsup played at Good Vibes. 5,000 over people showed up, and it was mad. So another audience was like, what's this Lapsup? Where we were actually there for a while already, but we're just dormant. So now we're active again. But we only do like not private events, but our events ourselves. We don't really play in club because the music we play is a little bit more underground.
Right, okay.
Yeah, so that's Lapsup.
Yeah.
And Lapsup is a long history as well. It started off private parties, very fashion. That time was skinny jeans, neon clothes. People would come like full makeup.
Yeah.
You know, like Ethan and the gang, the stylist gang, they would come like pretty much topless, painted in gold.
Oh my God.
Like Kate comes in like
Super underground.
lion mask and stuff like it was really like fashion.
Yeah.
And then from fashion, a lot of like blogs took pictures. It blew up from 60 to 300, 500, 100, 1,000, and then it became 1,000, 2,000 until like about 2,005 capacity parties.
Yeah.
Then, you know, then trends of course change.
Yes.
Then of course that changed. And then for a few years later, then Goldfish and Blink came about. But me and Alvin have been friends.
Also, Lapsup came first.
Definitely.
Right, okay.
Yeah. So I DJ'd alone, then Lapsup came about. Then G&B came about because we were watching Miami Conference videos. That's like before Ultra Miami was like known to worldwide. So that's when Swedish House Mafia was born. And we were like, oh, what's this? What kind of music is this? We should do this. Then we came up with a night at Zoop. And then that's how GMB was formed. We made music, got signed to international labels, played most of the international festivals together. And that's another phase. And then now it's like this Blink 3.0 or Blink 5.0 version, you know?
I love that. I also remember, was it during pandemic that you had a song with Daphne? Or was it before?
That was 2 years ago.
2 years? Oh, quite recent.
No, all the singing stuff is recent.
Right. So tell us about that song. Like, how did that come about with, of all people,
with
Daphne? Who reached out to who first? Or was it like a friend conversation? Let's do it.
It was a frank conversation because I think that during that time, if you notice, I think a lot of people don't notice out there, most of my pop songs, which is 4 of them, I think, all of the song titles have a number inside. Right? It was first one was Together, which is 2.
Okay.
And then after that was Your Number, which is a 4. And then after that was, Your Number was a 3. And then Satellite was a 4. And then Close to 9 was a 9.
Yeah.
So I was actually thinking of putting out an album. And every song title
with a
number. And then the title of the album was actually going to be called Blink, with the I being 1.
Oh.
Yeah. So, I mean, it might come out next time, you know, and I just kind of make it as like a discography kind of like album. But right now, another path has like come up again. So how did it come about? I mean, you know, me and them, we go way back, right? Jane Ash, Harbin and all. So it just came up as a conversation.
I love that. And of course, you have played in some of the biggest music festivals, like you said, Tomorrowland and all that. Which was the most memorable?
Okay.
Tell me. Story, Must story me,
There's a lot that's memorable. I think obviously everyone looks at the Tomorrowland Belgium as the one because to Malaysians, and when the videos of all Tomorrowland festivals went viral, that is the place to be, right, for dance music.
Yeah.
So when we got to play it in 2017, it was massive for us, obviously, in our portfolio. But, you know, I wouldn't say it's the craziest show. Yeah, but there's so many. Ultra Japan was one of our favorites because it was so early. We were shocked that we were like, are you serious? We're going to get a lunchtime set.
Yeah.
Right? But Japan always closes early for the festivals. We got there. It was 3/4 full. Wow. It was 1 p.m. Yeah, 1 p.m. The energy was high. It was like 9 p.m. vibes. They were like, they were roaring, raging on every drop. And then like backstage, like had omakase coupons for the artists.
Okay, I thought like the omakase in the backstage.
Yeah, backstage. Huh? Yeah, backstage.
I thought you said voucher. No, they're actually having
it's a voucher.
Oh.
And then you take, each artist has the voucher and you go into this hut and it's an omakase station. So Ultra Japan was like,
that's mad.
It's mad. It's like the best organized festival we've ever played.
Wow.
Everything was on time.
What was the weather like? It's just
perfect, like chilly kind.
It's the best.
And it's like sunlight.
Yeah.
It was just, extraordinary.
Amazing.
Yeah, so Ultra Japan was, I would say, one of the most memorable one in terms of experience and like wow. But you know, nevertheless, I mean, I'm just very blessed and I hope it continues. You know, I think it's God doings. You know, last year was one of my craziest years, to be honest.
I think we could see that, like how you just. Your schedule, I feel like I couldn't breathe just looking at your schedule. We bumped into each other in Singapore.
Yeah.
Because you played a show there. Was it something?
No, was it JB? Then we went into Singapore just for a day, right?
So random. Like, guys, it's hilarious, this story. Joseph and I were waiting for a friend, Constance. I don't know if you know Constance. She played Crazy Rich Asian, one of the...
Oh,
Constance,
that girl?
Yeah, that girl,
Okay.
So we were waiting for Constance to arrive.
Okay.
In Singapore. I have not many friends in Singapore. And then someone... called Maggy. And I'm like, wait, who can't be Constance? It's a guy's voice. Then I look across the street. It was Blink and Chris. Chris Chu, of course, like the guy who takes all the amazing videos that he posts on. And very, very talented guy as well. And I'm like, wait, what? What are you doing here? And then we ended up having beef lunch. Yeah. It was cool. So yeah, like I said, your schedule last year was insane.
Yeah, it's not only the schedule. I think the audience.
Yeah. Coming back.
It's not coming back.
No?
The surprising thing is a lot who said who wanted to come back, they came back for like 1 or 2 shows. But it's this whole new audience right now.
Yeah.
You know, it's like this new post-COVID. And I feel like that's why I'm so excited again. It feels like day one completely again last year.
I love that.
Like music,
Yeah.
the shows.
Yeah.
I had some of my best shows ever last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just really, I'm very grateful for 2022, yeah.
I have seen you play, obviously, in some of even our private shows where there's only less than 100 people. You could still bring the energy up. I want to know where the energy is from, because I know you are already so tired from your back-to-back. But when you're on stage, it's almost like you're in trance, like I said, you know, like you just become. So how, where, like what?
I don't know. Like I always tell people, you know, dig deeper, you know, during the powerhouse, like, you know, spin sessions.
What would you say? Tell me.
No, but I think it's different when you're on stage.
Yeah.
So it's like when I'm on the powerhouse bike too. Like even on a tiring day, I say I'm tired, but once I'm on the bike or the stage, I just go into this zone. Then after that, of course, I'm tired, but during, I'm not. I just don't know where it comes from. Everyone's like, where does the energy come from? I really don't know. Maybe it's really when they say pure passion, maybe that's that. You know, like the passion really drives you.
Yeah.
I really love what I do, you know, and not many people can say that, right?
Yeah.
So, and because I get to do it, I don't take it for granted.
For sure, never, right? Yeah. And speaking of powerhouse, you're also a spin instructor.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I'm a fitness coach myself. Okay, are you guys already tired just listening to all my questions? Because there's just so many things that this guy is doing, right? Like, I am a fitness instructor, and I know the intensity that happens in the spin room. It's the next level. I feel like I will punch it halfway, but you do a spin class right after or before your show. How? Like, how did that come about? Before we even get there, how did that come about? I remember it was during the pandemic as well.
Yeah, because, you know, I waited. Hanbin was like, you know.
Waited for what?
Okay, 2020 it happened, March, April. And then boom. We never knew it was going to be for 2 years.
Yeah, no one knew.
No one knew, right? So during then, Hanbin was already saying, hey, why don't you try becoming an instructor? You love spin so much. I'm like, yeah, why not? Then I went to training one day. I'm like, no, this is not for me. Because I thought maybe if club opens, then, you know, I just want to enjoy riding. Then a month, another 2, another 3. I'm like, you know what? I don't think it's going to open so soon. You know? Yeah. So then I'm like, okay, let's give this a go. And I started. And to be honest, I'll be very transparent. That year was one of the toughest years for me. You know.
Which year? 2020?
Yeah. It doesn't seem like you're on social media, you know, but as I always say, you know, I don't have a close friends list. Why? Because I rather tell my close friends my real stuff. So I never post about anything on the close friends list because I don't have one.
Yeah.
You know, everything that I want to post is what I want to post and I can share to the public, right? Because close friends is supposed to be spoken, right?
Yeah.
That's me.
Yeah.
So I never share anything that's, you know, sometimes I share when I'm down, but I believe that because I read a lot is that every negative thing you put out in this world, it comes back, you know? So I try not to put it out. Yeah, you know, and I believe it. So the more positivity you put out there, that's what you're going to attract. You know, every time you complain out, that's negativity put out. You know, if you don't like it, don't go there again. You don't like it, don't eat it again. You know, you don't have to keep ranting and complaining about it. It doesn't help, right? That's my thoughts.
Yeah.
Not for everyone, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, so going back to one of my worst years, I mean, I broke up, right? In the middle of training. Yeah, it was super intense. The training was intense. Broke up. Hejau was going to open 1 week later. Yeah, so yeah, and then, you know, anticipation of business. And yeah, you know, most of you know who I went out with. So you know, and it was for a while, right?
Yeah.
So, and the circles,
Small.
that's my circle.
Yeah.
Right. So what was I gonna do? I own the business with Jane.
Yeah.
So it was like, oh man, you know. So in that position, it was really difficult.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I'm very happy I weathered through it.
Yeah.
And I didn't quit, because if I quit the training, which I nearly did, it wouldn't have been like this today.
Yeah.
So
Amazing.
yeah, it was a very hard year.
Yeah, thanks for letting us know as well. And I think today we can see that you guys are still great friends.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, we are very close friends.
Yeah, still.
Yeah. I mean, I spoke to her this
You
morning.
guys play together at shows as well.
Yeah, we play together at shows. We still ask each other opinions on like some fashion stuff.
That's good.
Yeah. So we are still very close friends.
Are you always in touch with your exes? Are you the kind of person? If we don't have to get there.
To be honest, no. I mean, I don't have many girlfriends, to be honest, because all my relationships were really long.
Yeah.
No, my first love, she's married. Once in a while we talk, like, but she's with kids. But other than that, no.
No.
Like, yeah, but with Ash it's different, like, you know. In the same circle, I always see her. I mean, obviously it was a bit awkward in the first few months, first year.
Yeah.
But I think that's past, and I think we're just great friends lah.
Amazing.
I think,
I love that. And I think we have covered quite a bit of our questions. And I would just, right now, if you allow me, I have some spicy questions that Bella prepared. I don't know if it's spicy enough for you. I feel like it's quite mild lah, can lah.
Let's keep it mild.
Since we're already talking about relationship, the first one is, with how busy you are, would you say you would choose career over love? Are you that kind of person?
I mean, I think of that. I still think of that,
Yeah.
you know, because I'm not seeing anyone at all. Is that sometimes I think, do I even have time for a relationship? And if I get a girlfriend, I definitely want to spend time with her, you know, and do things. But how? You know, what's the balance? What is the balance? I don't know. Or am I going to be so lucky that I find this partner that allows me to be me while working it together, you know? But obviously life is not so simple. So I think about all this.
Okay. I like that answer because it's different for everyone. This next one. And Bella, not that spicy lah. I think this one quite vanilla. Can lah. But I like to ask. I will just ask anyway. Low maintenance relationships, do you think they exist?
Yeah, I think so.
How does that look like for you?
I mean, what is high and what is low? I think everyone also has a different threshold, you know?
For you?
For me, but you know, I'm not going to say much lah, but to be honest, I'm going to give props to Ash now. Ash, better thank me if you're watching this podcast. But, you know, I think Ash was super simple. She didn't like pester to buy any luxury goods. No, nothing. We just love the same food. Yeah, I mean, I don't even think, I think there is such thing. You know?
Low maintenance relationships.
Yeah.
Just simple, everyday things.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, there'll be occasions that you want to celebrate. Yeah, you buy things, but I don't think it was constant. And I think it definitely exists.
Yeah.
I think it's your personality that kind of attracts that kind of type of people as well.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Yeah. Got it. Last one. What was the most spicy, insane things that you have seen in the crowd or behind the scenes or backstage at any of your gigs?
Oh, no. That's way too spicy to be on TV, I think. or whatever. or podcasts. Or
Any milder ones to share?
milder ones. Let me see how they're like. I mean,
Stuff happening.
Yeah, but it's not like, I feel in recent times, it's much lesser just due to social media. Can story.
Correct. Back in
the days, Instagram was not so big yet. When Facebook and Friendster, right?
Yeah.
So you only post pictures.
Correct.
You don't.
There's no live videos.
There's no live videos, and there's no like immediate reaction videos, right?
Yeah.
So actually, I feel I'm quite happy that I got to live through that phase too, because things were a bit more mysterious back then. I'm not saying it's not dope now. It's super dope. You get to experience and see everything that's going on around the world. But there's not much mystery anymore.
Yeah.
You know, back then it's like you don't know until you are there.
Wow. Now I want to go back in time a little bit and see what for some.
Yeah, you know, so spicy. No, lah, I think it's
and not safe for work.
Yeah.
NSFW. Okay. All right. With that, we always end our episode. With 3 questions. Not spicy. Don't worry.
Okay.
It's a simple question. I sent it to you yesterday, but since you say you just skim through, it's okay. Let's answer it on the spot.
Let's go.
What are you currently head over heels for?
Head over heels. Ooh, what am I?
What do you love currently? Like
actually,
everything?
No. Let me think.
Take your time. This is a reflection question.
Yeah, nothing, man. Let me see.
Nothing?
Yeah, wait. Got lah.
I would expect everything, but nothing.
Yeah, why there? There's nothing about. Okay, I'm head over heels. I'm actually fixated in learning Chinese right now.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
I just started my first class.
Yeah.
We actually go to the same teacher, by the way.
That's right. So that's what I'm fixated about.
你可以讲一点华语吗？
一点点可以啦。
But 你补习你补到怎样？
哇 I don't know what you're saying.
But I think she did tell me that your base is Cantonese.
Yeah, my base is Cantonese. I speak Guangdong, but you know,
to translate it to Mandarin.
I'm slowly learning. Like yesterday, I learned how to like wish people Happy Chinese New Year.
怎么讲？
祝你新年快乐。
You're so shy. I love it. Good job.
Yeah.
So hopefully, if we get you on again in the next season, then we'll start speaking a bit of Mandarin. Okay.
Yeah, cool. You know, but when I said it out, like I was really shy about it, but all the following said I did a really good job.
I think your followers were super supportive. That's so good.
They are amazing. You know, I just want to shout out to them. Like they're the ones that gave me the courage to do this.
Yeah.
They laugh about it, but at the end of the same time, I think they're enjoying the process. They're laughing because it's fun.
Yeah.
Not because they're trying to like mock me.
Not at all.
Yeah. So I'm totally fine with them laughing.
Yeah,
and,
people still laugh at my Mandarin too. So I'm just like,
so but I think it's going okay after second class, you know. So.
Yeah, I look forward to speaking to you in Mandarin, okay? I'll order Hejau in Mandarin.
Okay.
Okay, second question. Can have some time to think about this if you want. What's the best or worst advice you've ever received? You can pick one or you can give me both.
Okay. Actually, I've got the worst one. And it's funny, man, how this worked out. You know this guy, I'm not going to name names. He's actually my close friend.
Okay.
I mean, if he watches this podcast, maybe he knows it's him. But I would like to say this to everybody in general, like even the ones behind the computer or like watching, you know, the show, that I think advice from anyone, you should take it and really think before you act on it, because I think at the end of the day, you know what's best for yourself. You know, this guy, he's very wise. He's amazing in terms of what he does. Super responsible, you know, grade A guy, right? But he told me during a time, this was 4 or 5 years ago, Zook was going to offer me, or was going to offer me, actually a bigger potential position, right? And he kept on telling me, take it.
Kept on.
Yeah, he said, he said, you should do it. How long you want to DJ for? Right? He said, take it, you know, sustainability, you know, and you can do this because you're good at it, right? How long you want to DJ for? Right? So I took a step back. I thought, maybe you know, maybe operation stuff is not really for me, or, you know, like paperwork is not really for me. And because during that time, 4 or 5 years ago, it was also the time where I hit the ceiling and I'm thinking, you know, what should I do next, right?
Yeah.
And thank God I didn't do it.
Yeah.
You know, because until today, I'll tell you, if I could, I want to DJ for another 10 years.
Yeah.
And you know, with the new following, so much encouragement, and see how I felt or made people feel last year with the music I played, I feel good, you know, every time I'm DJing, because it's not only for me, but I'm making people feel good.
Yeah.
You know, so I want to do this for as long as I can. So if I listen to that advice, which was actually good advice, you know, but it was the worst advice for me. You know, it's not bad, but
Yeah.
So that's my first advice.
Which is true, actually. Sometimes a good advice for one person would not be a good advice for the other. So, yeah, never really thought about it that way. Thank you. One last one. 3 words or sentences to describe your life right now.
3 words
Or sentence.
Or a sentence. You know, I think a lot about like the deep stuff, you know, how everything's come along, but I've never thought about my life right now. But you know, I always say, you know, I'm really grateful for everything that's happened, bad, good. You know, it's only because of the bad, that's why it's good now. And because of the bad, I learned so much, you know. I never take the bad as bad. It's always like lessons, you know, for me. But yeah, I just want to thank everyone who has supported me and still support me, that's all.
I love that. And with that, we wrap up this episode. And is there anything that you want to say that I didn't manage to ask? Like a final word to your followers, your new followers, your fan of your music?
No, I just hope, you know, like Jackie Cheung, when I'm 65 years old, I still get to like perform in Axiata for all of you. I hope you're there with me.
We'll be there, okay? I'll be at the front seat or front row, okay? But yes, with that, we end this episode with what I always say. Don't forget to fall head over heels for yourself first and always. And I'll see you guys in the next episode. Goodbye.
I know what it feels like going to the gym and feel completely clueless and intimidated. I was once there. That's why I started Motion Lab. We're a fitness studio that focuses on small group classes and personal training. Our goal is simple: to help you move better so you can live better. Start your first class for only 49 ringgit today. For more info, go to www.motionlab.live or check us out on IG at motionlabmy. It's Motion Lab MY.